Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and hopefully you can see it's a sunny day on the farm. And today I've got something a little bit different, something which I promised you a while ago. We've got the wood chipper now. This is a TP270K chipper which arrived this morning on the back of a trailer, and I unloaded it with the Manitou, the telehandler, and I've just dropped it down in the yard here, and as you can see I've got the John Deere ready to go on it. And what we're going to do with this is hopefully chip up wood and then put it into our biomass store just over there to heat the farm over the winter months. So our wood chip's very important in the winter because of the cost of oil and the cost of other products. Wood is something which we've got readily available on the farm, and we can get it from other farms as well. So we can clear up waste wood, chip it, and then burn it as well. So that's the idea. So this is a 270K, so it's a 270mm diameter on the infeed table just down here below. And if you have a look, it's got two jaws either side which will trap the wood and suck it in there. And then on the front here we've got the PTO, and we've also got a crane. We were going to go for a digger, a small mini digger, but in the end this one came up for sale second hand. It's done low hours, and the farmer who's got it is a forestry contractor as well as a farmer, and he's just bought a new one, I think a slightly larger model. So we are going to put this on the tractor. I just backed the John Deere up, and unfortunately, because John Deeres are known notoriously for their short link arms, the PTO shaft is slightly too long. So I'm just going to take about that much off the PTO shaft on either side. It will slightly weaken the shaft, but the shaft will still be strong enough to do this job. These are the controls for the crane, so we'll be able to hopefully stand by the John Deere, because the tractor's, unlike the Vultras, it's not reversible, our seat in our John Deere. If you have a look there, so you don't really want to be sitting front ways whilst looking at the crane, if that makes sense, from the back. So we've got this remote control, and we'll be able to control the crane outside of the tractor, so I can stand back here whilst loading wood, which will hopefully work out pretty well. So let's just cut this PTO shaft off. Alright, so I managed to take off the other side of the PTO shaft outside with the grinder, and I'm doing the other side here with a hacksaw by hand because I've run out of the grinding discs and the cutting discs, so I've got to order some more of them. So we're just finishing this last bit off by hand, but it is taking a little while. So the trouble is your arms go dead after a while, and then you can't do it anymore. Yes! 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 Bloody hell. Right. So after a bit of perseverance, I managed to put the PTO, make that shorter, cut that down a little bit. I also had to get another fitting for the hydraulic pipes so I can get a flow and return. I've got a temporary one in there now which is an adapter, but I've ordered a proper return which is going to go into the bottom there. But other than that, it is almost ready to set up now. The only thing which I need to change as well is the top link is just slightly too long, so that's got to be adjusted. We're going to have to get a smaller top link which we'll use just for the crane and for the chipper. We've got these chain harriers in the way, and then we've got our wood over here which I'm trying to reach, so I'll have to see if I can put you guys down somewhere. Right, so here we go, we'll just move those chain harriers out of the way. Now I've got this box here. If we press the connect button, I'm just going to put the stabilisers down to hold the crane steady. It's like playing one of those grab machines, you know, at the arcade. It's just a bit of a bigger scale. Come on, Kano. Right, we'll move them out of the way. There we go. Little job. Brilliant. Here we go. Could do with one of these. just fired up the drum chipper there just to make sure that it's all working. I've put the PTO on. We've still got a little bit of a too long top link, so we need to sort that out. So I'm just going to flick these stands down, and they're for supports for the chipper. They come down at a little bit high pressure because I need high pressure for the rest of the crane, so you've got to be quite careful. Obviously we don't want too much pressure on each side, so I've put both of them down now, and that's just to stabilise the crane for the chipper, if that makes sense. So now we can have a little look at this pile. It's a bit of a mess, to be honest, this pile. Start having a little rummage through here with the chipper, try and get some of the good wood out. We can't take all of the wood. Some wood we're going to have to split, and there's somebody I know locally who's got a splitter, and they've said they can help us out if we need any wood splitting, which will work out quite well, really. So more than anything, like I say, you know, just want to get used to using this machine. It doesn't really work like a telehandler. I mean, it's a completely different machine, and you can see the way it operates with the grab is so handy with wood. The way it swings as well when it picks up wood, it's just the way it behaves is just fantastic for forestry applications like this. This is just some rubbish, some bushes and stuff from the garden more than anything. This is just goodbye. And of course the wood is also the biomass boiler on the farm, which we use to burn wood in the winter, but before we can burn it, it's got to be blitzed into chip, which we use a chipper for. So, alright, so here we go, just underneath here, this is the good stuff, and this is really more than anything what we're after. So if we can come in with the crane, get these little logs here, these are the ones which will go through the chipper quite nicely, and we're buried in this pile. But if we can use our skills with the log grab. If there's any forestry people out there who do this for a living, you could give me a bit of advice. I'll have some of these out of here and get these bits ready for chipping. So John Deere's running this crane really well, because we optioned for the larger pump when we picked up one from Ripon, so we've got the larger pump on this one, which is quite handy. Lovely job. And then next year we'll try and get some more wood. We'll have to make sure it's under 270mm of wood. They do sell a wood in the forest now called chipping wood locally, and small contractors, forestry contractors, will sell sort of 10-12 inch wood, and it's called chipping wood because it's small and it normally doesn't make the grade for paper, so that's what we're after more than anything. You can buy it, well, I would say at a cheap price, but everything's gone up now and wood's really expensive. So, I mean, any branches or anything like that we get off the farm, we can go along with the telehandler, the Manitou, drop them on the pile here, and then we can pick them up and run them through the chipper once I've got my shorter top link and got that all set up. Nice. It's quite nice because every bit I get, I know it's going to be able to go through the chipper, and I'm putting it to one side, so this is really, really good. It's a job which I can do now, and we won't need the contractor for. It was great, you know, having the contractor, and they are really good. But with the rising costs, we just dread to know what it's going to cost. The bill with that massive fent and the chipper is just enormous. I mean, thousands of pounds. When you can have a look for a second-hand machine yourself and try and buy one, I think that's just the way it's going to have to be. You're just going to have to do more yourself, really, nowadays. That's a good thing, actually. I'm just looking now. When we're lifting the crane up, the tractor's not moving hardly at all, the 6R. Now, if we'd gone for a smaller 4-cylinder machine, it would probably be rocking around all over the place. That is sometimes the advantage when you get a slightly larger machine, especially the 6-cylinder engines. They've got that little bit extra weight. Very hot outside, so I was hoping I could kind of sit in the cab whilst we're sorting this out. So hang on. So we've just got the radio control, and I can just sit at an angle with the seat, and I can still see the cab, and I can still see the crane and all the equipment outside, which is quite nice. And then also, because I'm inside now, I can quickly get the controls to move the tractor backwards. And we can also adjust the revs a little bit. See, this one, I've caught it on the end there, look. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Nice bit of wood that, it just wants cutting up. Now that is one which will want splitting by a friend of ours who's down the road. He's got a mini digger with a cone splitter. He'll just come along and hopefully drive the splitter through that, and that'll make a huge difference. But I think for what we want to do, this chipper is just going to be fine, and one solution is just to look into some sort of way to split the logs. So if anyone's got any ways or ideas as to how we could sort of split a few of these logs, any of the larger ones, it's mainly the 15-inch logs, the 12-inch ones all go in fine, but anything larger can sometimes be a little bit of a devil to to get through the hole, if that makes sense, so get through the machine. So, but like I say, most of the logs we get, because it's biomass logs, will go through the chipper fine, but anything too big is difficult. I just need to squeeze the grab at the right angle over this other log, and there we go. It's just getting it all set up right, really. Right, so hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight as to how this machine works, and I've just gotten to grips with it, so it'll take probably a couple of weeks or months. Thanks for watching today's video. Keep liking, keep subscribing, all that good stuff, and I will catch you on the next one. Click here to subscribe to the channel, and click here to watch another Olly's Farm video.